Hey guys, happy Saturday. Hope you're all doing well. Thanks for tuning in. Today, we're just going to be reviewing my check in again to decide what what changes we'll be making um, to make sure that we are on track. On last episode, we talked about am I 4.5 or 5.5 weeks out? If I'm going to stay with doing South Jersey or if I'm going to be doing Lehigh. Um, I was probably going to make that decision by today if I was going to do switch shows and move to one closer. Uh, and if you didn't chime in to the other episode where I reviewed blood work, I added in um, the other PEDs after getting the results from the labs. Uh, and now I'm going to have the ability to add orals back in, especially if I'm going to be doing the one in 4.5 weeks. But let's review the visuals from today. So, this was last week, this was this week, but let's start from the front. Boop, boop, boop. All right, cool. So, uh, this was Wednesday, and this is today. There's only a three day difference. Now, mind you, on Tuesday, I did do push. So my chest has a slightly better pump still from the previous day. And mind you, I did do legs yesterday, so my legs are a little inflamed from yesterday's training session. But that being said, we can see that I do look tighter in the lower body, even though I did train legs yesterday. Definitely see a little more definition there. This definitely looks a little washed out from the lighting. Should probably tune that down a little bit. The light is less aggressive. But definitely seeing more definition in my legs, especially in my adductor area as well. A little more vascularity happening here as well. And same thing in the midsection too. Cuts to be seen getting a little deeper. Intercostals coming out a little bit more. All of that seems to be great. Some of this could be related to posing slightly differently. If you look at the hand position, it's slightly different. I look like I'm getting a little more width out of that lat, but we can see that my hand is not where it actually should be here. My hands are crooked as fuck today, and they're even as fuck here. So that's a posing discrepancy. Um, now look at side chest. Alright, cool. So Wednesday today, like I did mention, I did train legs yesterday, so my legs are a little washed out from the training, which we could see here, and also a little posing discrepancy as well. Definitely was pushing my knee against my leg a little harder here, making more hamstring drop happen on Wednesday than I did today. I do see though, obviously going back to I did train chest on Tuesday. The difference in how my upper body definitely looks today after having a upper body pump compared to after having a lower body pump. But definitely do look a little tighter actually on Wednesday when it comes to my side shots. But if we would go and look at our other side shot, like our side try, we do see that I do look tighter here. The midsection does look smaller here. My arms actually look larger here as well. The shot is also hit slightly different now. Trying to make my midsection being the most innermost point of the pose. I obviously want my knee to be the farthest thing away from me, but don't want this to be the most protruding thing in the photo, for sure. So I would rather lean slightly forward and have my chest and shoulders be in front of my midsection, just to give the illusion of having a smaller waist there. But I do believe I look tighter here compared to on Wednesday. Now, the back shot, I will say, is kind of up in the air because the glutes definitely look a little better on Wednesday. But I did pin my glutes again Wednesday night, and I did pin them again Friday night. So like that could result in some of the inflammation that we definitely do have in the glutes there. But either way, this is not enough improvement for me to stay steady with the current plan. So the goal was to constantly get leaner, leaner, leaner leading up to the show. But let me just, while we're here, pull up the visuals from the actual posing from this morning. Because I made sure to also document the actual posing as well. Because my thing was this, was the photos 100% tell the story. But the videos definitely help a little bit too, because you can see how lean you are in between the transitions, in between some of the poses, right? So maybe in the actual pose you look a certain way, but as you're transitioning from a pose to a pose, you can really see some of the weaknesses or some of the strengths a little bit more so. And like one of the things that like I always see with me is like my glutes, especially from the side, are really, really in. So like you always see that my glutes are feathering as I'm transitioning into other poses. Now in reality, I probably should put this camera on the other side because I hit both my side poses this way. But it does make me have to rotate a little bit more to pose towards the camera, which I think might be a little helpful. Because my biggest issue is thoracic rotation. And when I do my quarter turns, posing to the judges on the end seems to really be a challenge for me, just because my lack of mobility in that sector. But again, like looking at these visuals via video, we can definitely see a little more small little fine-tuned things that have improved, and some things that definitely need to be worked on a little bit more over the course of this. So what do I plan on doing when it comes to implementing a new change? Well, I am starving at the moment. Now, granted, I can always be more hungry. But my first thought process is not to take away more food. Since I'm not dying from an energy perspective at the moment. I am more hungry than I am actually tired. And that's a good shot for me right now. I'm kind of happy with how that's looking. Leg separation is good. Core looks nice. Chest seems to be nice and full. I could stand up a little straighter here, but you guys get the point. But let's go right into that motherfucking plan. Blop. Let's go. Alright, like I mentioned, I'm really hungry, so I don't necessarily want to take away more food. But I definitely would like to increase my output throughout the week. Now, from Wednesday to today, I did drop 1 pound, even though I did add in a lot of these short esters on after the last call, which in theory, like, I'm surprised my weight didn't actually jump because of that, just from like the water retention. Cause especially with things like test probe and me, I normally hold a little bit of additional water. I know you shouldn't, but since I'm already taking it with a baseline of tests, normally for me, after X amount of testosterone, I just hold more water. It doesn't seem to be the case right now. But either way, cardio. So at the moment, I have cardio 6 times a week, post-workout cardio 3 times a week on stairs. Now, one of the things that I thought about doing, and this was more so from a concept of having more cardio that was, I don't want to say fun, but cardio that wasn't just another session on the Stairmaster. And I've seen more and more bodybuilders start implementing stuff like this, especially like John Jewett. So I'm going to add in what is going to label it as sled pushes. And the gym I go to has a turf. And it's not like I don't need to dig my hamstrings out more. Sled pushes / pulls. Now, the gym I go to has a very long turf, and they do have the Prowler thing. It's the one with wheels on it, but it in essence has friction, so it makes it harder to push and pull. What I'm going to say is 3 sessions a week of 15. That's a lot, I think, but I'm okay with that. 15 pushes there and back. And on top of that, we're going to increase post-workout cardio to 5 times a week. Okay. So, we have cardio 6 times a week. This can be done at any time. I normally just do it first thing in the morning. We have post-workout cardio, which is 5 times a week at 30 minutes. And we have sled pushes, 3 sessions a week, 15 pushes there and back. So, in reality, I added a whole extra hour of post-workout cardio in a week. So let's just say for every hour I do 600 calories. It's more than that, but let's just say. So 600 calories there. Let's say each session of this is going to be between 2 and 3. So let's say 900 calories. So roughly added in like an additional 1,200 calorie burn over the course of the week from just direct cardio. So those are going to be the changes I'll be making today. And then I will check in again on Wednesday and see what other changes I have to make. But it looks like we are going to be aiming towards the Lehigh show in 4 weeks. Let's change that. Compared to South Jersey in 6 weeks. It would give me more time as well to get ready after this show for Universe. So, and at the end of the day, like, that's the eye on the prize thing. Like, that's the goal. So, as much time as I can, if I can have more runway to dedicate all my time and effort to just that, it'd be mentally be easier for me. Compared to, like, obviously burying myself peak week, burying myself peak week. I'd rather just, in essence, coast into this next show. And not coast. I expect to push a little harder or deplete more, get a little tighter. But I don't expect to deplete as hard for this show as I'm going to do Universe. Like, Universe, the goal is much big. The payoff is much bigger compared to just getting a plastic trophy, right? So I will embrace the suck a lot more for Universe due to that being the main target. Well, again, I appreciate you all for tuning in, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please comment below. Or if you have anything just nice to say or anything, also just comment below. But also make sure to like this video, subscribe to the page, turn notifications on. And also today we dropped the first episode of Minutes with Mark with our friend Will Whitlock, the owner of Leviathan Labs, that has made really cool products that are specifically geared towards us bodybuilders, like HemoFlow, which in essence allows you to take gear without having to blood dump every few months. It keeps your hematocrit and hemoglobin in perfect check, which is, again, normally a big concern for us, and that's why we had to blood dump so frequently. So check out Leviathan Lab and some of the products they do make, but also go look at that episode. So take care, guys, and stay classy.